Uselessness. The concept of utility, social utility. In the television show The Good Place, they talk about what we owe to each other. They talk about it ad nauseum. It suggests a theory of morality in which... Oh yeah, by the way, I'm at my scouting tower today, which is where I do my mapping at. You can see that's just the spawn point, and we're down there. That leads to the mushroom biome. That's Jasper's tower right there. You can see mostly this stuff not there. But anyway, got a cool tower, got all the stuff. That is going to be the Eyrie, which is going to be super cool, but you can tell from the construction it's going to take a lot of work. And this is my my fungal nether chunk, which is cool. I'm a big fan of it. I think it turned out very well. So let's go to the actual nether. I am Van Velding. This is Morning Perfect Base. I'm going to work my perfect base a little bit at random time intervals. And after a random number of those random time intervals, I am going to see how much progress I've made. Today, I have the sort of progress that you can't go back and look at making it, because I did make it. Izixs did. Izixs found a bastion. Dr. Izixs found a bastion deep in the nether, and I am attempting to retrace his steps to... Nope, not there. Here we go. And I'm attempting to retrace his steps. That would be... I was looking for the pathway that leads down to the rail. That's not right. I need Izixs' trail. Izixs' trail. So, retrace that, find bastion, have fun. Maybe I won't die like Dr. Izixs did. And I believe that I'm not going to die like he did for reasons. So, in the Good Place, we owe each other compassion and understanding, and our attempt to do so and to improve ourselves by recognizing our flaws. In a more functional sense, what do we owe society? It is, I think it's controversial for us to suggest that each of us should contribute to society. The entire field of psychology for pay tells us that what we contribute need not necessarily be physical. Obviously, the service industry is not like a grand moral revelation. What it does signify is the very broad definition of contribution. Parents who raise children provide an invaluable service to society, and yet commonly we do not pay them to do that. I remember seeing a poster which says that there's never not enough work. There is always work that needs to be done. The sick need care, the homeless need housing, the hungry need food, roads need to be maintained. Some people literally need a friend. I've never traded with a guy before. When he's going to give me a thing? I'm wearing gold. Usually I just tank it. But I've switched out of my diamonds. Oh, he gave me shit. I guess he gave me that quartz. I don't know. I've changed out of all my really top-end gear. The last thing I have is this bow, which is on its last legs. It's got enough for one more run. Then after this, I'm going to give it a name. Probably Bastion Breacher or something like that. And I'm going to put it on a little a leather frame in my armory so that it can be kind of immortalized. Because look, when a piece of equipment does good, you don't need to use it all the way up. You just need to... My reckoning tells me that I need to make like a hook right. Like the bastion might be over there. It might be like due over there. But the path to get there has me going this way and then making a hook around. And I'd rather just short circuit it, but I just don't see the bastion, so I'm not going to run off half cocked into the nether because Izixs' path, which you can see with those torches, is right there. That's great. I'm going to go... Oh, I cannot go above that. Okay. I just got to go along here. Okay. Right. It's never the case that there's no work to be done, and yet often, coronavirus aside, societies have chronic problems with unemployment. I feel as though my conclusion is obvious, and yet I still need to say it. Obviously, work needs doing, and... Alright. Weird. Alright. The life's been really bad lately. I'm still working off of Wi-Fi here, so I'm not going to say it's all the server computer. maybe whenever I do get my desktop moved to my apartment, hopefully, I can get 5G and tether directly to my phone via USB 4.0 connections, and maybe that'll be quicker. I don't know. If that sounds really stupid, please leave me a comment, because, like, I know a little bit. I researched, that's what I found. So I'm like a layperson, slightly less than layperson, look into it. And, I'm feeling good about that plan. Anyway, my freaking Wi-Fi service aside, obviously work needs doing, and either people are not willing to do the work, or the financial incentive does not exist for people to do the work. And by financial incentive, what I mean is you need to pay people to do it. What I mean is that people require money to exist in this world, and therefore there needs to be a minimal financial incentive of can survive while doing socially necessary work. It is noble when a person can do work that needs to be done for free, but it is completely insane to expect people to do that, and it often leaves our most vital jobs in the hands of people who are already fairly independently wealthy, or who are already working another job, which is unreasonable. Anyway, I would love to hear like a third factor though, where if social work needs to be done, people aren't doing that work. Like, is it not that people aren't doing it? Is it not that people aren't incentivized to do it? Like, are those not our two options for the work not getting done? But we can turn that around. Like, what about the notion that everyone is required to be useful? That some people are more useful than others. Some people are less useful than others. Trade, what can I get? Oh, I'm trading with him so much. I don't know if I got the quartz from the last guy, so I want to check and see what he gives me. Can you give me some? Oh, 20. Alright, there you go. I got 8 quartz off of that, I guess. Okay. In an unequal world with different people, we accept that some people will not be useful. Some people are handicapped. Some people will be very useful workaholic type A personalities. And that may sound unfair. I don't want to say that the people who can't work 40 hours a week do not have value, or that people who can and indeed enjoy working 50 to 60 hours a week are tools to serve society, useful workaholics, as you might put it. I use useful in this context to talk about the work which society might expect from each of us according to... Okay, oh, fuck me. Alright, I almost just walked into that. I almost just died. Because the last thing I expected to nether was a crevasse and otherwise, elevated land leading straight down into fucking lava. Jesus, I almost fucking died. Okay. I don't want to say... I don't fly out lava trap. Yeah, I should just seal it up, right? I should do the right thing that would help other people and seal it up. I don't want to say that, whole thing about people, what they need, and, what we're distributing to each of them and how it might relate to their requirements. It's a reasonable idea, though. The acceptance of it within a fairly basic, reasonable capitalist hierarchy is not that some people can't perform more and some people cannot perform less. And either we said that what they cannot perform is the pretext for suffering and deprivation, or it's not. Either we pick one of those or we don't. We say, hey, look, you're not able to do more, just suffer. How is that reasonable? It's not. And to claim that suffering and deprivation is just the lot of people who can only work a sliding scale of 39 to 0 hours a week of labor of some kind, with an assistant with not in any way attempt to efficiency allocate labor. And I'm not going to argue that point. That we're just going to go with my assumption on that, which is generally we know our society does not efficiently allocate labor. You know, if you say, well, you're unable to work 40 hours a week, and therefore you have to suffer and maybe die, that's eugenics. I mean, it's eugenics what you're saying. We're not talking about having big screen TV versus small screen TV. We're saying you will have to suffer and maybe die sooner, maybe have less kids. It's a eugenics argument. Basic subsistence housing instability is either rationed out in such short supply that it is a painful inducement to provide as much as possible regardless of capacity, therefore making survival, much less reproduction, more difficult, or it is sufficiently limiting that reproduction is too burdensome. One reason birth rates are dropping in this country are because, and there should be a red flag on this, you should research this, to confirm that I'm not just making shit up, is because people can't afford to. It takes money not just to raise a kid, it takes money to have stability. It takes money to pay for doctors to have a kid. I mean, can you get the eugenic system benefits? Those who can comfortably reproduce, who can comfortably provide a certain specific kind or amount of labor. And I don't intend to diminish the value of people who have like massive amounts of labor or specific kinds of. What I'm saying is that all eugenics programs are bad, and it's a real toss-up on whether eugenic systems which are consciously created or unconsciously created are more awful. You guys, I don't really want to capture one of you guys. I swear Izixs he found a ruined portal somewhere around here, and then he took like a right and another right, I think, and that got it. But I'm just not seeing the ruined portal. It might be over there in the distance. But it should have a cobble bridge coming off of it. So I have no idea where it went to. So I'm just going to lure one of these guys over here and make a new friend. I mean, where would you rather be on this? I would rather live in a society where people with different levels of ability are free to enjoy life and start families and contribute without existing under the constant pressure that they must contribute more. And how much of those type A personalities are amenable to the expectations that they work as much as possible? I'm sure a lot of them do inherently like being the boxer of society, but many of them might actually enjoy themselves more if they had time to enjoy themselves more. And I guess because boxer has like a common usage in language as a literary reference, boxer. So, look, the horse boxer. No, he doesn't box. The book is not about a boxing horse, okay? He's just a hard-working horse who happens to be named Boxer. I don't know. I guess he gets boxed up in the end. Anyway, I have seen too many people who have money but no time to enjoy it. They are incredibly unpicky consumers, to be honest with you. Like, there are so many things in this country that are bought en masse by people who simply want to be happy and simply don't have the time to research and pick through and discriminate. They just want to know the thing that society thinks will make them happy, and they want to buy it and have it, and they want it to make them happy, and it never does. And that's sad, and that's not good. There's nothing good about that. There cannot be a society which exists merely for us to be a flavor within it. You know, that's intuitively wrong. Like, we don't exist to serve society. It exists to serve us. Okay, progress. Goddamn progress. He already took the weeping obsidian out of it, which I don't resent because he was entitled to it. Because he came all the way out here and he found it. That's great. I'm a little resentful that he got the weeping obsidian. I mean, it's not reasonable or good of me, but it's a little resentment. Anyway, there will be more weeping obsidian. Izixs, Dr. Izixs, if you're watching this, don't fucking sweat it. So yeah, we should of course contribute to something to the world around us to make it function. And I think that interacting with that in a way, and that we provide services to other people and others provide service to us, I think that's vital to us socially. Like, psychologically, I think it makes us better people. You know, I'm all shut in because of this coronavirus pandemic, And, I'm cozy with that, but I shouldn't be. I should be going out and, interacting with people like people. And I don't know what the next step is here. I don't recall the video I watched where it was. I don't use the F3 coordinates thing. I feel close. I feel like I feel like it's right behind me. But I don't know. Yeah, surgeries need to be performed. Garbage needs to be picked up. People need to point guns at other people sometimes. And none of this work is as pleasant and as easy. Very little of it is. Of course, people need to perform these things. I think that... I hope even the most ardent of libertarians would believe that the allocation of money in our society is an inefficient method to ensure that. But that can't be the end goal of society. Just like our society's concentration of conflict even brings stewardship and the maintenance of a balance of power, that can't be our end goal of our existence. The use of wealth and work and extortion under threat of starvation and homelessness can't be the end goal of society. There must be a future state wherein people exist not for the good of an economy. This is what happens when you go off script. Because when you go to the better written scripty part of it, it's good, but it feels a little repetitive to people. I'm lost in the nether. Congratulations. It's a great feeling. There must be a future state wherein people exist not for the good of an economy, but, which societies and economies work so that people can exist. Not some sort of Eloy-like state of complacent ignorance, indolence, but engaged, connected to our families and our communities, free to travel, to learn and do new jobs, to make things, to express ourselves, to solve problems that society faces, to make words better than words we have now, to make ideas better than the ideas we have now. To do more than find ways to satisfy ourselves for a few moments, or to get a leg up on someone else, to desperately fight for useless resources because the fight is gratifying, or the resources are gratifying. Not the resource itself, but the having it when other people can't is gratifying. It's got to be more than just struggling for institutional power simply because power begets, safety and allows us to shape our own fight. We can't exist in a world where we constantly fight other people based on our unpolished moral intuition. I don't think that people need to be useful in a conventional sense. I think people should exist. I hear a lot of folks counter that by saying that, it's the people who can't or don't want to work, who believe that people who are not useful deserve to live lives free of anxiety, fear, and deprivation. That only failures care about those failures. I think I'm on the right track now. There we go, that's cobblestone. I mean, I might complain about the aesthetics of cobblestone in the nether, which I do. I don't, but it stands out. It's a clear marker. Cobblestone as a marker makes a lot of sense, and I don't think that was, I had another little boot there. I'm back though. I don't like it, but hey, there's the bastion, as promised. But it makes for a good trail marker, especially when you're making the trails out of it. There's a Russell Brand quote that says, "Hey, when I was poor and I didn't like income inequality, they all said I was jealous. When I was rich and I didn't like income inequality, they said I was a hypocrite." Because there is no correct way to do something when someone does not want you to do it. If people do not want you to question the economic status quo because it allows them to be safe and secure, there is no correct way to question that status quo, either as a poor person or as a rich person. They will find a way to contrive that you are doing it wrong. Okay, going into the bastion. Oh, hey, cool. There's a achievement for that. Super cool. Thing is, wow, I'm deep in here. Okay, all right, weird. It encourages this style where as long as things are going your way and you agree with it and it's good and it's fine, or if it's going your way but obviously you don't like it anymore, and no one's going to claim that attitude is principled. But if we are to accept the approval of these people when they are winning, we should also heed their criticisms when they fail. If anyone could say that having been through both states gave them a superior perspective. In fact, we give people who are born into a lower social class and graduated through one way or another to a higher social class, we give them more clout in these issues because of that perspective. There are not a lot of zombie pigmen in here, which is surprising. Interesting. I guess these lanterns are part of... it's lag again. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay, maybe that'll fix it. Oh, hey, look, that fixed it. It's not lagging anymore. God damn it. Look, hey, look, I'm wearing the boots. I'm wearing the boots. Guys, it's fine. I'm wearing the boots. What do you guys trigger when I'm in the bastion, when I'm on the bricks? I want to talk to your lead developer. Okay. Well, I died exactly like Izixs did. I don't know where my diamond armor was. I was hoping I wasn't carrying it. I hope I didn't just take it off, put it in my inventory, and then put on the new armor, because that would have defeated the purpose of putting on that armor. My point is that, and I need to make it quickly while I'm gearing up to go back in there. Using sour grapes to defend the status quo is a flawed argument, and it clearly serves to call back to a few weeks ago, the lack of interest in considering the opinions of others. Speaking of illusory threats, the threat of society falling apart altogether if everyone was guaranteed safe housing, food, and medical care is a phantasmal threat that is not born out of history or science. All the coronavirus is real, and many idiots refuse to acknowledge that. Well, Y2K was a real threat, and many people believe it was a hoax. Well, global warming is real, and many people refuse to acknowledge it as a reality. The threat somehow of a society treating its people as though they have intrinsic worth, they're worth investing in, and that maybe their dedication to their nation and its specific principles would be best served if those principles included giving a damn about them. That threat is a real illusion. Is that right? Anyway, I would just say that if you believe our society is so lost and broken that if we simply let people live, not even great housing, just decent housing, clean housing, safe housing, you believe that allowing them to have children and to feed their children results in some sort of parasitic underbelly of women wanting to get pregnant over and over again. I mean, I feel like maybe you've never been pregnant, but the issue then is to work towards a society which would not behave that way, given the universal fulfillment of basic needs. That society is worth creating, a society in which people will be basically decent enough to still contribute and still work, although not in a way that we might recognize. You know, even if all their needs are met. That's not a crazy idea. It's not a big ask. Most people are decent. Most people want to help. Most people would choose to feel connected through their society, to their society through work or through service or just talking to people rather than the alternative. You know? Like, what's the alternative? Just buying a bunch of shit and then being isolated and invading Iraq or, you know, some Iraq-like nation every so often? I don't buy it. Anyway, keep learning and keep asking questions.